Hello students, in this video we're going to go over Chapter 8, Bond Amortization, and we are on page 235, exercise EA 8-D1. Open up a blank worksheet and save your worksheet, and I'm going to call it EA 8-D1, and we've got it named, and set the column with the column A to 0.75. So I'll come up here and do column width 0.75, and then row 1 we want to set the row height at 7.2, and that adds a little bit of a border and space to the whole worksheet, so it's just to improve readability. Step 3, select B2 and C2, and we're going to add bold formatting, and we're going to type bond, and we're going to merge and center, and we're going to type bond details. Underneath that, we're going to type in order. We're going to type from range B3 to B8. We're going to type date, face value, contract rate, effective rate, life, and this is in years, and payments per year. And then in column C3 we're going to start typing 1/1/22 and then 100,000. In the next one, C3, C4, in C5.1, and in C6.12, and then we're going to select these two and make them percentages. And then in cell C7, let's type 5 for 5 years. And payments per year, we're going to have 2 payments per year. And then center, align the contents of C3 to C8. Select that, align center. And then select B2 to C8 and do outside border. Select C2 and B2 and select outside border for that. Auto fit column B, and column C we're going to set at column width 12. And then merge and center B10 to C10. Merge and center, outside border, bold formatting, and we're going to type bond calculation. And then in cell B10 to B13, we're going to type present value, future value, and payment. That gets us set up, and we will do an outside border there. Okay, and now we're going to enter financial functions, and we're going to be in cell C11, and we're going to type equals PV open parentheses 6/C8 close paren, comma, oops, no parentheses there, just a comma, minus C4 times C5 divided by C8, comma, and then go to the next page, minus C4 close paren, and let's auto fit because the numbers, oop, I did way too much. Okay, let's double check our formula because I'm getting something that I didn't expect. Wait, this C8, and again I missed this one step in here. C7 times C8 comma, and now my formula worked. I missed step 15. Okay, now we need to do future value, which is in step 18, equal signs, negative FV C6 divided by C8, comma, C7 times C8 comma, minus C4 times C5 divided by C8, comma, C11, close paren, mistake. Let's see what I've got going here. Negative FV C6 C8, comma, C7 times C8. Right here's my mistake. Okay, now with C cell 13 we're going to do a financial formula, so we're going to do formulas, more functions. We're going to pick financial, and I'm going to search for payment. There's payment, and I'll say OK. And now we get this chart, and we're just typing in what it says right here, C6 divided by C8. Number of periods, C7 times C8. Present value, C11. Future value minus C4. And say equals, and it's a negative number and it's cash outflow, so we need to switch that, and we'll come up here into the formula and type a negative sign or a minus sign, and that changes it to a positive value. Okay, now we put that comma in there, and that, that hyphen right there, and that is on step number 21 is why we did that. Now we're going to pick C11 to C13. Let's see, we got excuse me now. Okay, this range right here, and we need to put, instead of currency, we're going to put an accounting number format on there, and then we're going to add an outside border to B10 there. Okay, now we're going to do the amortization schedule. We're starting in B15, and we want to select to G15, and we're going to apply an outside border. We're going to center a line, add bold, wrap text, and we're ready to go. And we are going to, in these cells, we're going to type date, interest payment, interest expense, amortization of bond, discount, bond discount. Oop, what did I get up here for? Over here. Bond discount and carrying value. Okay. In cell B16, we're going to type 112022, and then in cell B66/32022, and then 12312022. Highlight B17 and B18 and pull all the way down to 26. And that filled in every other month, every 6/30, 12/31, and then the next year 6/30, 23, and 12/31, 23. In B27, we're going to write the word totals, and we're going to right align that. Okay. And that takes us to step number 28, and now we're on step 29. So in F16, F16, we type equals C12 equals C12 minus C11. And then we type equals C11. Okay, great. Starting figures. In cell C17, we're going to type equals C13. And then we're going to hold down function because I have a laptop and press F4, which makes that into an absolute number. Press my tab. Equals G16 times $C $6 divided by $C $8. In cell E17, we're going to type equals D17, equals D17 minus C17. In F17, we're going to type equal F16 minus E17, and tab equals G16 plus E17. Okay, that's great. Now we've got our bond all figured out. Highlight range C17 to G17 and fill down. I don't think I picked up the fill handle. Oh, there I did. Come over here to C27 and select auto sum, and then choose home font and border, top and bottom border, and apply accounting to range C16 to G accounting, and I think I missed a step in here where I was supposed to make these cells a little bit bigger, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so that finishes up the work that we did, and if we look at the top, we have a nice little bond details, bond calculations, and we have a whole chart. And if we change anything in here, for example, if we change the face value to 200,000, all of our numbers switch and change. So that's why using the cell references is so important. Okay, the next step is to put a password on our chart. So let's go ahead and let me save this at this point. And we are going to choose review, protect workbook. We want to make sure that structure is check mark. Type amortization. This is a password that we're going to use. And I'll say OK. And it always wants to make sure that we did it right. And it asks us again for the password to confirm it. So now this workbook is protected. That means that somebody can't make any changes to it. For example, we can come down here and click double sheet, and I get a message. This workbook is protected and cannot be changed. Okay, so now we're going to choose review again, protect, and type the password amortization. And the book is no longer protected. That gray is gone from here. And we can choose home, cells, format. There's a protect sheet down here that we can confirm that we have protect worksheet and contents of lock cells. We have select lock cells, and we have select unlock cells, and it wants us to click in front of format cells. So we're going to say that we can do these three things, but we can't sort, we can't delete rows, we can't do any of these other things. And for the password, we're going to put up here the word bond, and I'll type bond again. Watch your capitalization because that counts. Okay, so now we have this sheet is there's formatting, so let's check it out and see how this works. So right click column D header, and so right click, I can format it, but I can't insert, can't delete, can't do these other things. Select cell C17 right here, C17, and click insert on the ribbon, and notice how many things are grayed out. And then we can select B27 to E27, home, font, bold, and we can change because this was a formatting feature, so we can make changes like that. Now we're going to choose review, Protect, unprotect sheet. The password is bond. And now I can save my file. Okay. Now the next part is about locking and unlocking individual cells. So on D3, page 242, we have our file saved, and we're going to highlight ranges C3 to C8. Okay, C3 to C8, and B16 to G27. So I'm going to hold down my key here, and I've got two parts selected, and we're going to click Home, Cells, Format, Lock Cell. So you see the little green items that showed up there? Okay, so we locked those cells. And now we're going to switch to the Protection tab. I have to select these again. Nope, C11 to C13, C11, C13, these right here, and we are going to right click and click on Format Cells right here. This is step number 3. And we have Protection tab up here, and we're going to have Hidden and say OK, and then choose Review, Protect Sheet, add the password Interest, they didn't match, so let's interest, interest. Okay, so we have that as a password now. Let's click C12. Notice the formula bar is empty up here, and we can't change the cell. We have the hidden option was selected, and so we just hid that formula. Type any letter in cell E2. You did not unlock this particular cell prior to protecting, so a warning message displays in that you cannot type in this cell. Oops, I'm in E7, so I need to be up here in E2. So we're going to type a letter, and I get a message that says I can't type in there. So I'll say OK to get rid of the warning message, and then use the right click method to change the name of sheet 1 to bond schedule. Renamed bond schedule. So I can change my workbook structure, but not the different things. So that whole exercise was showing you how to protect different parts of your spreadsheet. And then the last thing that we're going to talk about is using macros. And a macro is just a recorded keystroke. So anytime you're finding yourself doing the same thing over and over, and it's kind of predictable. You can write a macro that will do the job for you. So we have this really fancy formula up here that we're doing, various formulas. So we need to maybe write a macro that'll do that work for us. So we're going to skip over to EA8 D4, and we are going to save our file again. And at this time we want to go to File, More down here, get to Options. We're going to the Trust Center, changing Trust Center settings. Then we have to pick macro settings. Disable all macros with notification is selected, and click OK. OK. And we're back to our screen. Highlight range C16 to G27. Press delete. Okay. Now, we just took out all of our information. So we're going to record a macro that's going to do this whole amortization schedule for us. So we click under View, Macros, record a macro, and it's going to be named Amortization underscore, because you can't have any blank spaces in a macro name, amortization schedule. Say OK. We're on step 6, and we're kind of doing the same thing as we did before, but we're going to be recording all these keystrokes. So let's see if I can get this down. Equals C12 minus C11 tab equals C11. Okay. Now we need to do step 7. So in cell C17 we type equals $C $13, and that should be 5,000, equals G16 times $C $6 divided by $C $8. Okay, then we're going to type equals D17 minus C17 tab equals F16 minus E17 tab, and then equals G16 plus E17, and we have our whole table. Now it says select range C17 to G17, and then fill it down to row 26 in cell C27 equals sum C16 to till G27. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing here. I'm on step number 9. It should be C17 to C26. That seems more appropriate. Okay. And then we're going to copy this over this way. It says copy and paste, and I just use the fill handle. Okay. Let's click macros and stop recording. Okay, notice that this amount equals this amount. And these amounts are the full amount and 0. Now it wants us to take everything out from C16 down to here. Take it all out, and then we're going to view macros, and we're going to run this, and there's our whole entire thing done for us again without us doing anything. And if we change this amount up here, whoops, that's right, we've got this protected up here, we can't make any changes up there. But if we change this to 200,000, this would all change and update. So it says choose review. Okay, we're going to protect this in this next step. Protect unprotect sheet, and the password was interest. And then we unprotected the sheet, so we can insert a text box. Let me see if I can change this to 200,000 now. And then all of my amounts changed. These amounts changed. Everything changed on it for us. Okay, so let me take it back to 100,000. I just did undo. And I'm going to put something here by E2. Okay, so insert illustrations, shapes, and the text box is right down here under basic shapes. It's the one with the letter A in it. So we take and click the text box, and we're going to build it right here. It says drag it from E2 to the bottom of E5. Okay, and say populate schedule. Okay, and it says to make it bold and 16 point, so I can come back in here, 16 bold. And I don't think I have my text box made big enough. Let me just do it a little bit bigger here. There we go, the whole thing fits in here. And let's select this to make it center. Okay, there, it's in the center of this thing. Okay, next step, we're on 18, and we're going to assign a macro to it. We're going to assign amortization schedule, and I'll say OK. Now it says to choose review, protect sheet, and the word is schedule. Delete the contents of C16 to G27. Now we're going to run the macro this time. So this is what your template would look like. And you'd probably be able to change some of these things in here, and this recalculates everything. It'll calculate for you. But for our macro, we'll run this and build in this. So click the text box, and we're done. So all those steps got recorded for us. And now we're going to save your copy of your file as File, Save As, Macro Enabled Worksheet. And then save, and we're done. And that's it for this work.